Okay, so Wicked came out not too long ago on digital platforms, and I had to watch it again and again. I watched it a total of 4 times already. I'm not a musical person, that is not my type of thing, but the fact that I watched 4 times for a musical, it's pretty good. I've always heard of the musical Wicked, and I've seen the poster for the musical, but I never realized that they made a movie. Turns out that Wicked was based off the Wizard of Oz and the Wicked Witch's perspective. Okay, I like it. The only thing Wizard of Oz that I know is, of course, the original Wizard of Oz, and then Disney made one called Oz the Great and Powerful, which, to be honest, is an underrated Disney movie that doesn't get talked enough. But the reason why I'm talking about Wicked today is, one, my review, and also how Wicked got snubbed out of their nominations for the Golden Globes. If you don't know what the Golden Globes are, it's basically an award show, and then Wicked was in 4 categories: cinematic and box office achievement, supporting actress in a motion picture, actress in a musical or comedy motion picture, and musical or comedy motion picture. This movie deserves, I believe, all 4 categories. Ariana did great, Cynthia Erivo did great, as well as the whole movie in total did great, creating crazy achievements, which they won, of course. But other than that, they lost the other 3 categories, which I think they should at least take home 2 more. I mean, if you agree, let me know in the comments below, because I think this should be at least getting a couple more awards. Plus, the Oscars are coming up very soon, so you best believe this movie's getting nominated. Of course, people waited a long time for Wicked to come out because they started production way back in 2019, 2018, because this is a 2-part movie. We already got Wicked Part 1, and then we got Wicked Part 2, aka Wicked for Good, which, don't get me wrong, I think that's a good title for Wicked Part 2. I wouldn't mind Wicked Part 2, but you know what? Wicked for Good takes the cake, I guess. One more thing, I gotta give my props to Jon M. Chu, because he knows how to direct a movie. I mean, he directed some pretty good stuff. I'm looking at his catalog right now. He directed Now You See Me 2, Crazy Rich Asians, In the Heights, and now you have Wicked. I just had to give that honorable mention because he just did such a great job with this movie. I think he's gonna get nominated for Best Director. Rephrase that, he's gonna get nominated for the Best Director and also win the Best Director. I mean, of course, we got to see the other nominees, but you know what? He takes his top spot on my list. After doing some research on YouTube and figuring out how the storyline of Wicked takes place, I mean, the book and the movie both have similar and their differences, but my first reaction to the movie, I didn't know what was going on. It low-key made me want to fall asleep within the first 30 minutes. This was the first watch. I never watched no trailer, no nothing, not even reading the books, because in the beginning it's showing the present of what's going on and how the Wicked Witch is dead, quote unquote. I mean, this is leading to No One Mourns the Wicked, which I think that was a great song to begin with. At first I thought the Wicked Witch was actually dead, but then Glinda over here telling her side of the story of how she met Elphaba and how Elphaba's mom low-key went around the world, if you know what I mean. And then one of them had the green elixir, and then turned out 9 months later Elphaba was born and she was green. And then Glinda explained how Elphaba wasn't the favorite child, Nessa Rose was, which is just her sister. And then how Elphaba was raised by her nanny, Dulcie Bear. Gotta love Dulcie Bear for being a weird one. Best bear in the whole wide world. Winnie the Pooh, you got nothing on her. I mean, my first reaction on this university, by the way, I thought it was called Riz University. I really did. And that's not for the video, by the way. I really thought it was called Riz University, and then I realized it was called Shiz. I mean, Shiz, basically the slogan is where knowledge meets magic, so it's basically the Harry Potter of this world. I mean, it's kind of funny because, you know, Shiz University, Harry Potter, they're both owned by Universal, because of Wicked and Harry Potter are both distributed by Universal. Okay, I'll stop. I mean, Shiz literally has their own website in real life. It literally says, get your Shiz ID, arriving at Shiz, download your welcome packet. Like, you can literally attend Shiz. And the reason why we're here is because Nessa Rose got accepted to Shiz, and Elphaba's just there to take care of her. I mean, the dad couldn't do it apparently, sending her daughter off to university, but you know what, man, I hate that father, bro. After all the disrespect that Elphaba got from her quote-unquote father, that's not even a real dad, by the way. That father can't be even hating because she took care of Nessa Rose more than he did. I gotta stop ranting about this father. It's okay, I could go a whole video about it, but you know what, it's okay. But then we lead on to Nessa Rose, and honestly, I just gotta say, I finally get what you guys are saying about her getting hit by a house because she's the Wicked Witch of the East. She doesn't even treat Elphaba with respect after all Elphaba's done. Elphaba should be the true hero. I'm gonna get to you later, Nessa Rose, but just saying, you were a bad sister to Elphaba. Then we finally meet Glinda and her friends. Her friends are Fanny and Shen Shen, and I know this is a musical, but why does everybody have to glaze Glinda? This is a glazing fest, and this is how I knew it was a glaze fest for Glinda, for crying out loud. In the song What Is This Feeling, it was straight up Glinda getting so much love by everybody. When everybody says, "Dear Glinda, you are just too good," you see what I mean? I mean, of course it adds to the storyline because Galinda's getting everything she wanted, and then you see Elphaba literally getting nothing. And then I see a bigger picture of how the Wizard of Oz is portrayed, because in the beginning of Wicked we see that everyone hates the witch and wants to burn her, which they started to do with the whole statue, and then she just looks at it very scared, like, dang, she's really gone like that, or is she? But then we go back to Shiz University, where she literally uses her magic to lift Nessa Rose up because someone was trying to help her, but Elphaba was trying to help her because, you know, she's the bigger sister. And then the head mistress of Shiz University, Madame Morrible, pulls up. Galinda's trying to get her class, and then Elphaba over here just stealing it, and she didn't even enroll in Shiz University. She just did that by accident, and now Galinda and Elphaba are in rooms together. And I think this is where the story really kicks off, because then you see the connection of Elphaba and Galinda even grow stronger. They used to hate each other, now they love each other. And the reason why they love each other so much now is because of this one scene at the ballroom, or like the dance scene you could call it. It's like a secret club the head of Shiz doesn't really know about, where all the students go to, and now Elphaba pulls up with an outfit and a hat that Galinda actually gave her to be sabotaged because it looked hideous in her eyes, and everybody was looking at her straight laughing. And then this is where one of the strongest scenes of the whole movie pulled up, because she straight up looked in the crowd and she just started dancing. Everybody's looking at her, whispering and making fun of her secretly, not really though. And then Galinda's with her date, aka Fiyero, which is this prince, aka the Tin Man. Then Fiyero tells Galinda how surprising she's not embarrassed by, and then Galinda realizes that she is embarrassed and started dancing with her. One thing I hate about this though is that ever since Galinda started dancing, everybody started chiming in now. Why weren't you chiming in before? That Galinda impact, I guess. Now everybody's friends with Elphaba because of Galinda. Come on now. These students are so fake, it's not even funny. But you know what? It's a movie and I love Wicked. But you know what's not fake? You hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate that. Thank you. So fast forward, Galinda and Elphaba are best friends now. Galinda refers to Elphaba as Elfie, which I thought was, you know, kind of cute. You know, best friends, Elphaba, Elfie, cool. But then they started playing Popular, and then I realized, oh shoot, I know this because I heard it a lot from TikTok. Like I said, before this movie, I knew nothing about Wicked, so don't judge me in the comments, I swear. I already know there's gonna be that one person that says, Blockbuster didn't even know anything about Wicked, da, da, da. You're right, I didn't until now. But now fast forwarding where Elphaba is taking lessons from Madame Morble, and Madame Morble writes to the Wizard of Oz himself, and the Wizard of Oz himself said, hey, pull up to Emerald City, I'm about to show you the works. And I didn't even know that the Wizard of Oz was Jeff Goldblum, so that even made me love the movie even more. Then after I watched the trailer for Wicked, and then I realized they revealed who the Wizard of Oz was, which was Jeff Goldblum, and then I realized they could have just hit him throughout the whole entire movie and then a big reveal. But I got that different experience. I didn't even know he was the Wizard of Oz. So you know what? Everyone got their own experience. I got my experience. Then we fast forward to them leaving Emerald City. Elphaba was gonna leave on her own, but then she realized, Galinda, pull up with me. I rephrased Galinda because she changed her name to just Galinda without the G. And then when they head to Emerald City, they see the city around, they look around, and then they see a show towards Emerald City about how they praise Oz. You know, a little Easter egg that I figure out after seeing Wicked is that the original Broadway actors were featured in this movie, which is good, paying an homage to the OGs. Kristen Chenoweth playing Galinda, as well as Indina Menzel playing Elphaba. Two greats. I mean, that's good that John M. Chu tried to figure out some way to incorporate them into the movie, because this is literally the start of it all, the Broadway musical. But then they realized the backstory of Oz, you know, the hot air balloon, etc. You already know the story. So we're in our final act in the film, and Galinda and Elphaba already meet the wizard, and then Madame Morble pulls up all of a sudden. I don't know if they addressed that in the movie or not. I kind of forgot. Someone addressed it in the comments below. I do like when Glinda introduces herself to Oz, and then Oz refers it to somebody else, and it proves that Glinda doesn't always get what she wants. But then when the Oz talks to Elphaba, he realizes that he can use Elphaba because he's a phony. And since this is before Wicked, we never got the true meaning of the Yellow Brick Road yet. Cool how Glinda actually picked the color yellow instead of anything else. I mean, this is the foreshadowing of the Wizard of Oz to Wicked. Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Then Elphaba realizes that the Oz is a phony, and then only Elphaba can read the Grimoire and Oz can't. And while Elphaba is reading the Grimoire, it makes a monkey fly. Now all the pieces are coming together of how the monkeys are flying, how she got the Wicked Witch title, which I believe that they did a great job addressing how everything came into play. So Elphaba steals the Grimoire, and then Madame Morble talks to Galinda saying if you don't get that back, she threatens her or something like that, but then later on it turns out she didn't. But then it leads to one of the most important scenes of the entire film, which is Defying Gravity, which is a song that I can't get out of my head. She used the Grimoire, the same spell that they use for the flying monkeys, and then they use it for some broom, which is called the Wicked Witch's the West's broom. And this scene is so powerful because the guards are coming towards her. She doesn't know what to do, so then she just jumps out the window and flies. Well, she falls, but it makes the scene even more bigger because while she's falling, she sees a version of her younger self, and then automatically she believes in herself, and then she starts to fly, defying gravity. Get it? And then Galinda's singing, she's singing up in the air saying the wizard that there is or was. See, I know the lyrics. And I gotta give props to Cynthia Erivo for singing those high notes and doing the stunts while singing. That takes a lot of guts and talent. Cynthia, I'm rooting for you for the Oscars this year. Then it finally ends with her flying into the West, aka the Wicked Witch of the West. And I'm excited for Wicked Part 2. It's coming out this year, and I realized that Wicked for Good is one of my most anticipated movies of 2025, releasing this November. But it makes me wonder, should I see the Wicked play in Broadway so I could get to reveal the whole story first off? I know I could read the books, but you know what? The element of surprise. Or I could wait till November after Wicked Part 2 is out, see Wicked Part 1 and 2 back to back. Regardless, I'm gonna see everything, all of the above. Maybe I'll read the books after, because I know there's more after to the story. But you let me know in the comments below, have you seen Wicked? Are you excited for Wicked Part 2, aka Wicked for Good? Are you excited for these characters to return to the big screen? I'm excited for it, and let me know how's your experience when you first saw Wicked. like it? Did you see the play first? Did you read the books? Have you watched Wizard of Oz? Then you also saw the Broadway musical? This changed my perspective on musicals because I'm not a musical type of person, but now it makes me want to explore more. If you like Wiki and you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button. But other than that, it's your average guy, a blockbuster guy. Hope you have a great 2025, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.